Have you ever noticed the most powerful men in history, the most unshakable, the most focused, they were always alone? Now, let me ask you something. Are you afraid to be alone? Or are you just afraid to face who you truly are when no one's watching? Stay with me, because in the next 15 minutes you'll understand why the man who walks alone eventually walks the farthest, and how solitude doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. Society fears the lone wolf. Let's get real for a second. Society tells you to fit in, make more friends, be more social, blend with the crowd. But here's the truth. The crowd fears the man who walks alone because they can't control him. Think about it. When you walk with the herd, you move where they move. You chase what they chase. You become what they expect you to become. But the moment you detach, when you choose to walk a different path, that's when you tap into something rare, something dangerous. How many times have you silenced your gut just to avoid being different? How many times did you dumb yourself down to fit in? What if fitting in is the very thing killing your potential? The power of solitude. Let's talk solitude, not loneliness, but solitude. There's a massive difference. Loneliness is the pain of being disconnected. Solitude is the power of being deeply connected to yourself. In solitude, you hear your real thoughts. You face your real fears. You meet your raw self without filters, without noise. This is why monks leave society. Why warriors isolate before battle. Why inventors, writers, and revolutionaries go off the grid. In solitude, the average man breaks. But the real man, he transforms. Pattern interrupt question. What if the silence you're avoiding is the key to your next breakthrough? How solitude builds mental strength. When you're alone, there's no applause, no validation, no likes or hearts. Just you and your truth. You begin to build discipline. No one's watching, but you still show up. Clarity. No opinions, just your purpose in sharp focus. Resilience. You face storms alone, and that's how you learn to weather them. And here's the ironic part. When you no longer need anyone, that's when people start respecting you the most. It's magnetic. A man who's self-validated doesn't chase. He attracts. Ask yourself, can you sit in a room alone for an hour without reaching for your phone? Without distraction? Without dopamine? If not, maybe you're not afraid of being alone. Maybe you're afraid of being unmasked. Loneliness versus brotherhood. Let me be clear, you don't need to cut everyone off. This isn't about being antisocial. This is about being intentional. The strongest men don't isolate forever. They choose solitude to build themselves. And when they return to the world, they connect with the right people. Not everyone, just a brotherhood, people who respect your energy, not drain it. Look around your circle. Are they fueling your fire or suffocating your spark? Sometimes the loneliest place isn't being alone. It's being surrounded by people who don't see you. Examples of men who walked alone. History proves this over and over. Buddha left his palace and walked alone into the forest. Steve Jobs spent years in solitude before launching Apple. Bruce Lee isolated himself, built his own philosophy, and became a legend. Even in Indian and American cultures, our heroes weren't loud. They were focused, alone, determined, because true strength isn't built in the spotlight. It's forged in the dark, when no one claps for you. And when you finally rise, they won't understand how you did it. That's because while they were busy talking, you were busy transforming. How solitude builds mental strength. When you're alone, there's no. So, here's what I want you to remember. Alone doesn't mean broken. Alone means building. It's in your isolation that your identity is reborn. So don't fear the silence. Embrace it. Let the crowd laugh. Let them mock. Let them misunderstand you. Because one day, when they're still stuck complaining, you'll be the one who became unstoppable. If this hit you deep, don't scroll away. Share this with someone who's walking through life alone right now. Maybe they need to hear this today. And if you're ready to build an unstoppable mindset, subscribe now. This journey has just begun.